Hey, I'm Darcy. It's been a couple of years since I've done a video. The last time I did one, we had our litter of 14. That was just a lot of work. But you know, one of the things that I was thinking about doing is doing a couple of videos to show people how I set up for a litter. We don't breed very often, and I don't have a kennel, and so I don't have a dedicated dog room. I have a spare bedroom that becomes our whelping room before we move the puppies downstairs later on. But we are in an upstairs room, and it is carpeted, and so you know there's a couple of things that I have figured out that really work well to make sure that you preserve your home during this messy time of puppies. And there's also some hints that I can give on how to set up your whelping box that makes life a lot easier. So I'm going to do a couple of segments probably, but I wanted to start today because we're just prepping the room. And so we've vacuumed, we've picked everything up. You can see that I've moved shelving out and away because I'm going to cover the carpet in this carpet shield. You buy this at Lowe's or Home Depot. It's a roll of like 50 feet for about 20 bucks. And I'll put a link to it. But you know, in the first couple of years I tried using like linoleum remnants or just pieces of blankets and stuff like that, but none of it works very well. The linoleum, when you put it on carpet, if your carpet is nice and plush, then the dog's nails can actually poke holes in the linoleum, and it's just not that easy. So I found that this stuff works really well. It's inexpensive. It stays on. You can leave it on for months if you want to. But it's the same stuff that, like when you go looking at houses in real estate markets, sometimes it's covered with this. And so anyway, I'll put this down and then I'll show you a picture of it. It's really easy to lay down. Maybe I'll show you how we get started, and then we'll move on to the whelping box. Okay, so I've started it. There's a little tag that says starter on it, and so you just pull it up. It's real sticky on one side, and so you just lay your roll down. And I like to start it right at the top of the baseboard so that I've got a nice even start. And it's, like I said, it's sticky, so you lay it against there, and that way I've got even my baseboard covered, which you don't really have to do, but it's just kind of nice to do it. Now, this is going to get loud because as I unroll it, it makes a certain sound. So I'll probably not record this whole thing, but I'll take some bits and pieces, or maybe I don't know, edit the sound, something. Anyway, you're going to get it started and just start rolling. And once you get it sticky, then it's easier, but you got to get something to stick first, and then you just pull it out. Okay, so I started rolling this out, and you can see how I've got it laid down. And as I pulled it out, I realized, oh, I'm going to have this label right in the middle of everything, and I don't want to be looking at that for the next 3 weeks. So I'm going to actually cut it here and start fresh up there again. And I would suggest you do the same so you don't have to look at that. I tried to get it off of there without tearing it up, but it's just going to peel. So anyway, we'll start fresh. Okay. You can see I've got a couple of rows down. This is just 2 rows. It's good if you overlap it a little bit. I've got about a 2-inch overlap there, and that's just because sometimes the edges will crinkle up, and so I'm making sure it's good and covered. You're going to have some wrinkles in here that, depending on how OCD you are, you can push them out or you can leave them because it will adhere to itself, and you'll just have a couple little wrinkled stuff. But you can see that I'm walking on it. It makes a little noise right now because it isn't fully compressed onto the carpet, but basically it covers the carpet really well. The other thing is, I know that I've done this by myself before, but my husband, the cameraman, helps me by getting it started. So when you're getting started, it's really hard to get it to hold that stickiness enough to actually roll this thing out. So it's nice if you can get someone to help you long enough to get it started, and then you can just roll. So that's what we're doing. Okay, and you can see that I've got the 3rd section started, and it's pretty well stuck to the floor, and so then you can just take this roll out like this. So the whole process doesn't take real long when you can get someone to help you start it. Okay, it's all done. We've got all the plastic down. It took us about 20 minutes to cover it. It's $20 per roll. We had to get 2 rolls because I covered the whole floor. But, you know, once I lay the mattress and the Whelping box down and stuff, I actually didn't need to cover it all, but it's just easier to do it that way. This stuff, you can walk on it. I've been on it with high heels and didn't poke holes in it. And, you know, if you have a dog that throws up, or if you have puppies that poop or pee, get out of the Whelping box, poop or pee, you can mop this. You can damp mop this. And so it's a whole heck of a lot easier than trying to clean stuff out of your carpet fibers. So this is a really good way to protect your floors if you're going to whelp a litter in a carpeted room.